Okay, smartass, let's see what this mystery's all about.
Hi, wait a second, hold on. I'm Party Darty, and for the last 4 years of my life, I've been working on a tabletop RPG called the Potluck. After I made my first companion class guide, I realized that, y'all haven't been properly introduced to the class system as a whole quite yet. So, that's what this video is for. Today, I'll be going over the class system briefly to give you a grasp on what to expect in the future. Let's get started. There are 17 classes in the Potluck, and you can think of them as being separated into 4 trees of gameplay styles. There's the Combat, or Red, tree, the Control, or Blue, tree, the Support, or Green, tree, and the Other, or Purple, tree. The red, blue, and green trees contain 5 classes each, while the purple tree only contains 2, thanks to it exclusively housing the oddball classes. Each tree, except purple, specializes in 2 of the 6 base stats. Combat works with strength and willpower, for obvious reasons. Control works with perception and dexterity. And support works with charisma and deafness. Note that each of these trees are balanced between an offensive/utility stat focus and a defensive stat focus. Of course, strength doesn't beat the utility of perception in the same way it doesn't beat strength in offensive capabilities. But don't think that just because you're playing a control or support class that you don't have any defensive options. Dexterity and deafness can help you get out of some pretty sticky situations if you're smart about their usage. Before I get to the classes themselves, a quick word about how things are going to be formatted. Out of the 5 classes within the main 3 trees, there's one that will focus on only the main 2 base stats. If you want to further the tree analogy, you could call them the trunk classes. All the others will focus on one of the other 4 base stats in addition to the first 2. You could call these branch classes. I'm not sure how well this analogy is going to hold up in a few seconds, but hey, here we go. The combat tree focuses on, well, hurting people. If you like being on the front line and cracking skulls, take one of these classes for a spin. The fighter focuses on strength and willpower, making it the trunk class of the combat tree. It's got a simple premise: get between your friends and the bad guys. The fighter might be for you if you like being the biggest motherfucker on the field. You like instantly healing wounds that would turn your allies into a red splatter. Or you can't choose a class, but you want something reliable and always useful. The raider focuses on strength, willpower, and perception. Due to this mixing of bonuses towards physical status and mental status, your goal as this class is to make people feel pain by any means possible. The Raider might be for you if you like hurting people, you're playing a character who likes hurting people, or you want a class that can take advantage of any weakness the enemy has. The Soldier focuses on strength, willpower, and dexterity. This is the I once killed a guy with a pencil class. Need I say more? The Soldier might be for you if you like to fill all 6 weapon slots as quickly as possible, you like juggling pistols and knives as a combat technique, or you want a class that can pick up almost any weapon on the field and use it effectively. The Bruiser focuses on strength, willpower, and charisma. You're a speech-based, frontline pseudo-support who can brawl with the rest of the combat classes. The Bruiser might be for you if you enjoy bullying your teammates both in and out of character, you enjoy bullying the enemy even at the cost of your own health, or your team needs a speech user but also kinda needs a tank, since everyone picked control classes like the absolute fools they are. The Lancer focuses on strength, willpower, and deafness. Like a lightning bolt, you strike fast and hard before leaving as though you were never there. The Lancer might be for you if you're a DPS main in any other type of game, you enjoy the idea of punching holes through enemies, or you get the feeling your fellow players aren't the most tactically savvy and need some raw damage in the team composition. The control tree focuses on, you guessed it, controlling the field. If you like using ranged weapons and positioning yourself in the backline, try one of these classes. The Scout focuses on perception and dexterity, making it the trunk class of the control tree. These two base stats make for an excellent backline scouting/fire support, which is exactly what this class's job is. The Scout might be for you if you like Ranger-type classes in other games. You entertain the idea of dressing up in ghillie for a night out on the town. Or your team needs a well-rounded ranged weapon-based class and you're unsure of what to pick. The Operator focuses on perception, dexterity, and strength. Once you add strength into the mix, you end up with a class who can control things from spitting distance utilizing parry rolls. The Operator might be for you if you enjoy the feeling of parrying a dragon's breath weapon with a sword. You enjoy the feeling of disabling said dragon's breath weapon through a parry. Or your team needs some in-combat support, but you want something with flair. The Vanguard focuses on perception, dexterity, and willpower. This one's interesting. The combo of perception and willpower makes you an unmovable source of information for your allies. The Vanguard might be for you if you like the juxtaposition of shrugging off hits as a control class. You enjoy gameplay based around in-combat, up-close investigation. Or you find your team entirely lacking in perception classes, but you don't want to be left out of the fight. The Sage focuses on perception, dexterity, and charisma. This should feel pretty familiar for those who like to play casters in other games, as the game plan is similar. Cast powerful abilities from a distance and stay out of trouble. The Sage might be for you if you're finding yourself missing the more traditional mage-type classes, you enjoy the idea of reading books in combat, or your team is lacking on both the perception and the speech front and need a powerful user of both. The Sniper focuses on perception, dexterity, and deafness. The trick here is to not be seen, take the shot, and move before they find out where you were. Simple. The Sniper might be for you if you like to play as far back from everyone else as possible. You entertain the idea that if you're not shooting for the head, you're not shooting at all. Or your team composition needs fire support, but also needs someone watching their back. The Support tree focuses on, can you guess? That's right, supporting your team. Speech use is heavy here, so be sure to give one of these classes a try if that mechanic tickles your pickle at all. The Captain focuses on charisma and deafness, making it the trunk class of the Support tree. Inspiration is the name of the game here. Keep yourself safe, and your team will run as smooth as butter. The Captain might be for you if you think of your allies as pawns to further your own victory. You like being the cheerleader for your team. Or your team would like to push their ridiculous concepts to their limits and need a speech user to accomplish it. The Drifter focuses on charisma, deafness, and strength. You have every single type of speech role available to you, all wrapped up in a lightly Western-themed package. The Drifter might be for you if you like the idea of stopping people dead in their tracks with nothing but your voice. You're planning to play a stone-faced badass. Or your team is lacking in every speech department, and you figure you might as well fill all those gaps at once. The Comic focuses on charisma, deafness, and willpower. God gave his funniest battles to his goofiest clowns. The Comic might be for you if You entertain the idea of being the single most annoying presence on the field at any given point. Your character makes a squeaky toy sound every time they get punched. Or you've been forced into playing a tank, but spite has entirely consumed you. The Scoundrel focuses on charisma, deftness, and perception. Sneak thief lovers of the world, this class is for you, you dirty bastards. The Scoundrel might be for you if you enjoy sowing chaos from the shadows. You like the idea of existing to cause pain for the enemy. Or your team cannot, for the life of them, remember to loot anything once the fight is over, and need a living reminder to do so. The Performer focuses on charisma, deftness, and dexterity. Become the ultimate distraction, someone dancing in public. The Performer might be for you if you want to draw as much attention as possible while not playing a tank. You desperately need a class for your slutty bard to transfer over to. Or you've got your first pick of the litter, and you've decided that you're gonna run the show solo if you have to. The other tree is for the oddballs who don't focus on any stats at all, but rather outside concepts that have enough potential to fill an entire class. Be careful with these, folks. The Gambler focuses on rolling dice to mitigate potential loss. Dice goblins rejoice. The Gambler might be for you if you enjoy being a circumstantial burden to your team. You enjoy the thrill of having a good play depend on a high-risk game of chance. Or you have no care for what your team thinks, and you want to play the funny dice class. The Spirit focuses on becoming a walking magical warhead. Just be sure that none of your allies are in the blast radius, since friendly fire is on with this one. The Spirit might be for you if you understand that it's completely broken when played perfectly. You understand that human error merits that you will never play 100% perfectly. Or you and your team have agreed that after 3 instances of friendly fire, you are therefore considered an enemy and will be dispatched with as such. And so, that concludes episode 0? Technically episode 2, but I'll call it episode 0. Episode 0 of the Companion Class Guides to the Potluck. I hope that, in me making this video, you now have a better idea of which class you'll be trying. If you liked the video but know nothing about the Potluck, feel free to check the description for a link to the PDFs. If you like the video and are familiar with the Potluck, don't hesitate to say hi in the comments below. Thanks for watching.